Okay, this was just from some weird website I ran across, but it has something profound in it. It says, discussion for beginners, newbies, old heads, hands, and professionals of DNA testing, genetics, genealogy, archaeology, history, anthropology, deep ancestry, DNA, haplogroup, human genome projects, mutations, blah, 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 family trees, the geographic project, and we keep on going down, and it says, and anything and everything to trace your roots with DNA. And you notice right here, see this here? It says, and the purple gang. Okay, now, to the average person, that's not going to make any sense. Who's the purple gang? The purple gang is the Phoenicians and the offspring of the Phoenicians. Okay, this is why we have a rabbit over here, shaped like with the lines or the schematic of a tiger. Okay, the purple gang, the Phoenicians. You want to get biblical? The Elohim, the ones that said, "Let us make man in our image." I'm going to stress again that phrase, "Let us make man in our image," does not mean 2 arms and 2 legs. It means let's build him to our specifications. Everybody keeps thinking that man supposedly looks like God, that it's 2 arms, 2 legs. No. When you build something, you build it to specs, to specifications, to what you need it to do, or what you need it for. Okay, you don't build it to make it look like you. The bottom line is, let us, plural, or if you read in the Hebrew, the Elohim, this is the Phoenicians, this is the guys, I'm telling you, let us make man in our image. Okay, they're also going to be responsible for what's going on right now, because in the book of Revelations it said, and if we did not shorten those days, no flesh would survive, which is indicating that somebody's allowing something to happen, but only to a certain point, so that all of humanity is not completely destroyed. So when they put "and the purple gang," they're talking about the Phoenicians, who were known as the purple people, because the bullshit story is that they knew how to use, they had a purple dye and nobody else did. Well, the purple refers to the abyss. That's what it is. Man was already here when it was interfered with by the Elohim. They're called lords or gods because they're above man by intelligence, but they're below the creator. So what they did is they took an existing product and they tried to expound on it. Hence, the Neanderthals completely disappeared, and bang, all of a sudden we're here. But it doesn't mean that they created us. This is a story that they like to believe. If you go look at Silver Red Indigo, she'll tell you that the Jews created the rest of us. But we all know by now that the Jews speak ancient Phoenician. There is no Hebrew language. So, DNA testing for those with the Phoenician gene. Why? Because I personally believe the mark in the Bible is not the one that they're going to give you. It does have to do with 666, because that equals 18, and that equals 9, and that would be the mark of Saturn or Satan. But it's already in the blood. You either have the mark or you don't. I made videos way back showing people that were rushing to go find out if they're Phoenician. Why? Because them's the guys that's running the planet. It's also tied in with the Aryan race. And either you have the mark in your blood already or you don't. They ain't going to give you one because they don't want to keep you around. This is a big misconception. They don't want to keep you around. That's what all this massive bloodshed is going to be about, because you don't have the mark. They're not going to give it to you. You're either born with it or you're not. Use your head. Now, just to give you a little bit better idea, let's look at this. This is from Elvis Presley singing the song Jailhouse Rock. Now, what is jailhouse? Well, it's a place where you're detained. Well, who's detained? Well, those that are in Tartarus, the jailhouse. Rock means to upset. It doesn't mean to dance. It means to upturn, upset, dethrone, destroy. So let's see what it says. Spider Murphy playing on the tenor saxophone. Little Joe was blowing on a slide trombone. The drummer boy from Illinois, which makes me laugh, went crash, boom, bang, and the whole rhythm section was the Purple Gang. Let's find out who the Purple Gang was. Here's the Purple Gang from Wikipedia, and it's interesting because there's no comments, but there are nine over here, 9 views, and we all know that 9 represents Saturn. So the odds of this happening, being the Purple Gang, being Phoenician, being the first ones to write and call Saturn God, Saturn then being changed later to the name Israel, and then from there being changed from the name Israel to the name affiliation with Jacob, or the lion, which goes back to this picture here of the rabbit, which represents reproduction with tiger stripes, is not a coincidence. Okay? Again, I'm going to stress that the word human race does not mean all of us living together. It means which strain of us is going to survive. And there's a particular group, and I brought them up before, and they're called the Aryans, that believe that they are the direct descendants of the Phoenicians. Okay? The Jewish Nazi thing, separation does not exist on a certain level. It's all world dominance, but you have to keep people jumping from hoop to hoop without pinning them down and saying, oh, the Nazis and the Jews. Yeah, there are Jews that have absolutely nothing to do with this, but you have those that are from a certain race that have infiltrated and have now claimed it as their own, and therefore they're saying, well, in the name of this, we're going to do that, and it's the Aryans. If you studied Nazism, you'll know Hitler spent millions of dollars trying to get to the center of the earth because he said that's where the race of giant Aryans are at, i.e. Prometheus. If you look on the front of the New Yorker, you'll see that it shows Saturn and it shows the center of the earth, and there's a black cube in the center of the earth, which is what these guys are tied up in, and it's adamite. It's a crystal. And so it says in the book of Revelation, and an angel came from the temple with a key to the bottomless pit. It is not a key like in your door. A key is like a piano key. It's a tone. And then it says, and in his other hand he held a chain. It's a combination of keys or tones that will shatter the crystals. Hence, my personal opinion, this is what CERN has been trying to do. And it says in the end times, some of them will get out of Tartarus. And this is where you see the Chilean miners episode, where the only time in history NASA was used satellites to pinpoint where some people were at, even though we don't even do that in our own country. And they said that 1 billion people watched that. Now, right now there's 7 point something billion, so that tells me at least 1 billion people are involved in this world takeover. You're going to see. You'll see. But for whatever reason, keep on doubting it. All of this stuff is all coming together. Nice and easy. I'm going to show you some other stuff, but that's it for this video.